We have wrote the protocol to send direct requests to the database to upload the path to our physical file on the server. But as you know, our app is having no access to our access.php file because we always communicate to our server through the middle broker file. Okay, we'll have to create one new file in our PHP development environment. New file, I'm gonna name it something like upload image.php and save it. Okay, this file will be responsible for uploading files, which is cover or ava, to the server and updating the path in database. Very good. So first of all, the step number one is to receive the path passed data to current file. Step one, receive passed data to the current file, to current PHP file. Okay, so as you remember, we got two very important files, data which are path, which are ID and type. Path we will generate. Okay, so we write here if, then in the square brackets we write empty, then again square brackets dollar symbol request, then sorry, it was round brackets, now square brackets, and here we put ID, then we put or, and again we're checking empty, open the round bracket, dollar symbol underscore request square brackets quotation marks, we'll write type, then coming out of the brackets, then curly brackets. So it means if ID is empty or type is empty, then we don't want to execute further. We'll write here return square brackets, then quotation marks, status will be 400 in the quotation marks, and then we want to return a message. Return square brackets message, then equals to missing required information, and semicolon, don't forget. Now we want to echo this, echo JSON encoding value return, and here we're returning this. Excellent. So we want to do one more thing. We want to prevent these values from injunction, so we want to make it secured. So we write $symbol ID. This is a new variable which will store an ID received from the application. Okay, we do it through HTML entities. Here we write $symbol underscore request square brackets, then in quotation marks ID. Then we're doing the same for the type. We're creating a new variable type equals to HTML entities, $symbol underscore request, then square brackets, quotation marks, type. Be very careful that this ID and this ID, it's fully identical. Okay, this one is, we are using save using protection method to cast received data. This is what we're doing here. So the step 2, you remember, was establish connection, and we have done it in all of our previous files. I'll just copy this. So what we're doing is we include access.php where we write require, then in the round brackets we're going to the secure folder, which is here, then we're going to access.php file, which is inside the secure folder. Excellent. Then we are creating a new variable with the name access, which will store the full class of access. The full access, this will store this one variable. Okay, very good. So then we are executing the function of connection, which is inside the access class. That's the one. Very good. Okay, so the step number 2 is done. So we've got now the last step, which is step number 3. Step number 3 is upload file. Okay, this one is a little bit complicated function. You must be very, very careful, guys. So give now your 100% attention. And let's just confirm let's confirm that localhost.fb.uploadImage.php. Very good. So status missing required information. Let's try to pass it information question marks ID 1 and type equals 1, for example. Now it's fine. Now it executes. Okay, let's go and upload the file which we will be passing to the server. Okay, first of all, we want to check before trying to upload the file, is the file received from the application to current PHP or not. So to do this, we'll write if, then in the round brackets, I'll just open curly brackets as well. So first of all, we want to check is set, so it means it will automatically check is set the file. To receive the string or integer values, we're using request. To receive the file, we use $symbol underscore file. Then in the round brackets, we write a reference, the key reference, same like your ID type, so we write here file. Is the file is set means is something was thrown to current server. And is the file size is more than 1 KB. This is very important because sometimes it can just send some image file which actually does not exist, or just a blank image file to avoid this. And we continue $symbol underscore file, then we continue in the square brackets in quotation mark file, and again we're putting square brackets in quotation marks size more than 1. So this thing, this code, this expression $symbol underscore files under the key file, it will access the file. When we plus write size, it will access the size. If it is more than 1 KB, then we want to continue further. Okay, first of all, what we want to do is we want to create a separate folder for the cover and Ava. So what does mean separate folder? Let's say your server folder is that one. Examp, then htdocs, then you've got fb, your project folder. So we want to create in this this is your server, guys. This is these all files on your server. So we want to create Ava and cover 2 folders separate. Okay, I'll create it in advance. First one cover and Ava. Very important, guys. The next step, once we created the file, right click here, and here should be get info. Here the permissions, here write read and write. Admin and everybody means the users can read and write. Read means to read the files in this, write means to upload some files. So for Ava, done, and we're doing the same for the cover. Cover, right click, get info. Admin can read and write, everyone can read and write. Excellent. But what if this Ava and cover, these files or folders do not exist on your server, and so somehow, let's say this file it doesn't exist, let's say, and how we can proceed with the upload if the file doesn't exist. So we will write one secure method, secure code, which will say if this folder does not exist, then create it. Okay, very important step was with the permissions for the folder folders. Okay, here we'll write the code. First of all, we want to declare the path of the folder. So we must, guys, we must declare the absolute path. The absolute path. So here we'll write folder equals to /, we'll write applications, then again /examp double p, then again /examp files, then again /htdocs, again /fb, and again /. Okay, we'll stop here. Let me explain this expression. So we're going first of all to the applications, then we're going to XAMPP. Here we go. Then we're going to XAMPP files, because this htdocs is only a shortcut. So we're going to XAMPP files. Then we're going to htdocs. That's the one. Then we're going to Facebook FB folder. Here we go. And here we want to create, let's say, Ava or Kava, depending which folder does not exist. So here I will close the quotation marks. I will put dot and I will concatenate it with the type. So this can be Kava or it can be Ava. Then again, I put dot in the quotation marks. I close. I make one more right dash. Okay, so how we want, let's say Ava, we have millions of users. So how we can put here millions of files? We must separate them by the user. So when we go to Ava, let's say we want one folder to be Michael Jordan. So in this folder, Michael Jordan, which is dedicated for the user Michael Jordan, we want to keep his files. Okay, very good. So the best practices is, instead of using the full name, is to use the ID of current user, because sometimes he might change the folder, so it means he will lose all of his data. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Then means what we accessing here is, I'll write here a comment for you, applications, then XAMPP, then XAMPP files, then htdocs, then FB, then Kava or Ava, depending on the selected type. Then we need to go, let's say, user ID, which is 777, for example. This is what we want to do. So I will concatenate the string by ID, which we received from the app, and semicolon. So this is the absolute path to the folder. This is what we want to do. So it means for every single user who will be uploading his pictures or files, it will create a dedicated folder for this. Excellent, excellent logic. So then this is only a path, so we need to write a code to create it. If, let's say, file does not exist, exclamation mark, file underscore exist, folder, then open curly brackets, and here we want to create it. If file exists not, then create it. So to create the file, there is a function in the PHP which is mk directory, make directory. Okay, here we write folder. Then the rights for the permissions will be 777, means everyone can read and write, comma, and here we'll write true. Okay, so here we are, or server automatically is automatically creating dedicated folder for every user to store his files. Excellent, this is what we have done. Okay, once the file is selected, what we want to do is we want to declare the path of the file where it's supposed to be uploaded. Okay, let me tell you. So let's say we've got someone uploading his profile picture. Server automatically will create, let's say, a folder for him. The user's ID is 777, and here, let's say, will be some of his personal file. Let's say he uploaded this icon. So we want it to look something like this. We want it to be looking something like FB, then Ava, then user ID's folder, then his files. This is what we want to do. So we want to declare now this path to this file. So this will be path to the file. Okay, here I write file path equals to folder, which we have created, and we will concatenate it It will concatenate it with the name of the file passed to current PHP file. Base name in the round brackets $_ files, then square brackets, quotation marks, file. We know how to access the size here. Now we will access the name of the file, and again square brackets, quotation marks, name. Very good. And we're closing this line with the semicolon. So this one gonna be looking like, I'll just copy this, ava.jpg. This is how this code will create this path, because we want to upload our file right here. Whenever we upload the file, we should not upload it or declare the path till the folder. We should include even the file name, how we want it to be looking like. Okay, very good. So let's finally now upload this, and we'll write the function saying if the file was uploaded successfully, then blah blah blah. Okay, if move uploaded file to uploaded file. Now here in the round brackets we'll write $_files, then square brackets in quotation marks we'll write file, coming out of the square brackets, and then in the square brackets again, very important, in the quotation marks we'll write tmp_name, temporary name. Then we're coming out from the square brackets, then after coming out from the square brackets we put comma, and we write file path. This is where we want to put it. Okay, very good. So this means if file was uploaded successfully, the file which is received to current server. Temporary name means it has, when this PHP file receives any file, it has a temporary name, and we just save it with this direction, so it will finally have a name, ava.jpg. Okay, if it is successfully saved, or if it is successfully uploaded to the server, then we want to, if the file came here, if the file is here, we want to, this path to this file, HTTP path, we want to update it in the database here in Ava. So here will be the full path to the file. Okay, very good. And here we will write $file URL equals to quotation marks HTTP : right dash / localhost /FB, then again / and coming out from the quotation marks dot to concatenate the string $type, then again space dot to concatenate the string, then quotation marks again. So we're putting again /, then coming out from the quotation marks, putting dot, $ID, then again we're putting dot, quotation marks, /, then coming out from the quotation marks, again dot, and the file itself, $_file, round brackets, and in it quotation marks we'll write file, coming out from the round bracket, then again round brackets, quotation marks, name, and semicolon. Okay, so this URL will be looking like HTTP localhost FB, then type Java or Ava, depends, then user ID, let's say 7777777, then the file name ava.jpg. This is how it's gonna look like. So it looks quite confusing, but once you look at the real link, how it will be finally looking like, so it will be better and clear for you. Okay, so this file URL we want to insert in our database. So since we've written the protocol in our access, which is the last one, update image path. We will now call this image URL. We can write it because it's a URL. Okay, here we will write $symbol access, then arrow, update image URL. So first we need to declare the type. Here the type, we will pass the type which we receive from the app. App will communicate either it's a kava or ava that has been pressed. Then the second one, it will be file URL, and the third one, it will be ID. Excellent. And the next step will be to return some information to the user. Return, then square brackets, status in quotation marks, then again quotation marks, 200, which means successful. Then we're returning the message, which will be file has been uploaded successfully. Okay, here I will just try to clear it. File, I'll write type, so it will tell me file ava or file cover, etc. Then we want to return the path of the file. Here we write return, then square brackets, quotation marks, double quotation marks, we'll put dot, then space, we write type, then again space dot and double quotation marks, equals file URL. Okay, very good. Else, if it couldn't happen, then we will return error. Return status will be 400. Then the message will be could not upload the file. And after that, so since we're finished uploading the file to the server, we need now to disconnect it. Access arrow disconnect semicolon, then we need to echo a JSON echo JSON underscore encode return. Excellent. And one more thing, don't forget to put here, we'll declare return array, yeah, to store all of these informations. Okay, let me now write for you a comments. This one we will write once we finish all execution right here. Okay, so especially step 3 here, we're checking is the file has been set, means selected, and we're checking is the file is more than 1 KB, so it means it's a valid file, not a blank one. Then declare a folder absolute path. If this folder does not exist, then create it, means per each individual it will create a dedicated folder. Excellent. So then create a path where the file will be pasted, then move the file with a temporary name to the path which we have created and replace temporary name by the ava.jpg. If this execution was successful, create to the same path, which is that one, its absolute path, create HTTP path for this, and once the HTTP path created, here update the URL or HTTP path in the server. Here, if it was successful, return JSON to the user. Very good. If else there was some error or mistake, then throw back an error message. Once everything is done, disconnect and throw a message back to the user. So this is actually the protocol to upload the file. So we're done with this. That's a real and great job. Congrats, guys. Good job.